Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining us today. So I'd like to seek the blessings of Radha Shyamsundar, Radha Madhav, Krishna Balaram, Gaunitai, Srila Prabhupada, and Guru Maharaj to honor wonderful devotee and the devotees who are present as well today. Today we wanted to look at the life and times of Lokanath Das Goswami. Of course, we only can do very, very little because we don't have so much information, nor the ability to glorify such wonderful devotees of the Lord. It's his disappearance day tomorrow, and we seek to remember these great souls in order to get their good wishes and their blessings, because their blessings are very powerful. So this is a verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Sange Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha Bhatta Gosai Ara Lokanath. When Rupa Goswami stayed at Mathura, he was accompanied by Gopal Bhatt Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, and Lokanath Das Goswami.
So he is equated with the six Goswamis. And the six Goswamis are extremely elevated personalities. So this is showing us the status of Lokanath Das Goswami. So who is he? This is a very nice picture of him in Vrindavan, probably in his Samadhi. Okay, this is the Pranam mantra, which Narottam Das Thakur, who is his disciple, direct disciple, Narottam Das Thakur. And Narottam Das Thakur is a great poet and bhajan kirtaniya, bhajan writer. So he's written some amazing mantras, and one of them is this one here.
Srimad Radha Vinodaika Seva Sampad Samavitam Padma Napajjanam Srimal Lokanath Prabhum Paje. I worship the lotus feet of Srila Lokanath Prabhu, the son of Srila Padmanabh. He is a storehouse of single-minded service to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha Vinoda.
Excellent. So, Sri Lokanath Das Goswami was a personal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and a great devotee of the Lord. He was a resident of a village named Talakhadi in the district of Yashohara in Bengal. Previously, he lived in Kachnapura. His mother and father's name was Padmanabh and Sita Devi, and his only younger brother was Paghalbha. From his early childhood, Lokanath was indifferent to family life. One day, giving up his mother and father and leaving his home behind forever, he went to Mayapur in Navadvip to take darshan of the holy feet of Gaura. So, incredible personality. From a very young age, he was not attached to his family. In fact, giving up his mother and father, he left home, went to Navadvip. Mahaprabhu immediately told him to go and live in Vrindavan, telling him that it was his own intention to take sannyas very shortly and go there himself. So he was a confidential associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu told him personally, go to Vrindavan. Lokanath started to cry when he imagined the Lord without his beautiful curls and the distress the devotees would feel at his departure. The fact that Lord Chaitanya took sannyas was a huge, huge step, because no incarnation of the Lord has ever done that. And he has beautiful curling hair. And the thought of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking sannyas was very distressing, and especially when that was mentioned to Lokanath Das Goswami. When the Lord saw Lokanath's anxiety, he embraced him and consoled him with various spiritual instructions, and Lokanath surrendered completely to him. When Bhugarbha was Lokanath's parental uncle and closest friend, another great devotee. They were always together. When Bhugarbha saw how unhappy Lokanath was, he decided to accompany Lokanath to Vrindavan. So together, they were always together. They were always in association with each other. The two companions walked through Rajmahal, Tajpur, Punia, Lucknow, and many holy places before finally arriving in Braj. Though he had come to Vrindavan on Mahaprabhu's order, he constantly felt intense separation from the Lord, shedding tears in his desire to see him again. So the idea was Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, would also go to Vrindavan. And he tried. He was transcendentally deceived by Nityananda. And somehow he ended up in Shantipur along the Ganga, thinking that was the Yamuna. And when his mother came to Shantipur after he had taken sannyas, his mother requested him, please, don't go to Vrindavan. It's so far away for the devotees. From Bengal to Vrindavan is so difficult to journey. Please stay near us, stay in Jagannath Puri, because their devotees can annually come and visit you, and at least I will find out from them what is happening with my glorious son. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very obedient. He said to his mother, yes, I will do as you command. When he got the news that Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas and then gone to Puri, and then to the south on pilgrimage, Lokanath hurried to South Bharat in order to join him. When he arrived in the south, he had heard that Mahaprabhu was no longer there, but had gone to Vrindavan. Lokanath immediately set off for Vrindavan, hoping to see the Lord there, but by the time he arrived, he heard that the Lord was now in Prayag. So this is part of the tricks of the Supreme Lord to make the devotees even more anxious for his association and wanting to be closer to the Supreme Lord. So sometimes he manifests these pastimes where you don't get the association of the Lord or something like that, and you become closer to the Lord. Lokanath was disappointed, but still determined to see the Lord, decided to set off again for Prayag. This time, however, Mahaprabhu appeared to him in a dream and told him to stop running around and remain in Vrindavan and do his bhajan. Not long afterwards, Rupa Sanatan, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, and the others of the Lord's associates started coming to live in Brij. So up to that time, it was literally just Lokanath Swami and his close friend, Purghava Swami. But now, these great Goswamis started to come, the 6 Goswamis. Their association cheered him immensely. In the midst of the Goswamis, Srila Lokanath was the oldest. He was fully absorbed in Prema Bhakti. Lokanath Goswami wandered throughout all 12 forests of Vrindavan in great ecstasy. In one of the forests, there is a village named Umaro. There he stayed for some time on the banks of Kishori Kund. He had a great desire to establish the worship of the deity and render service to Krishna in that way. Understanding Lokanath's aspiration to serve, Krishna himself appeared before him and offered Lokanath a vigraha, so that means a deity form, saying, worship this deity here. This deity's name is Radha Vinod. After giving him this beautiful deity, the Lord suddenly disappeared. So this is really amazing. At this, Lokanath Goswami became stricken with anxiety. Seeing him absorbed in worry, Radha Vinod smiled and said, so this is the deity now, right? Deity speaking to Lokanath Das Goswami. Why have you brought me here? I have come here personally just to satisfy your purpose. Because remember, Lokanath Goswami was the one desiring to serve. So rather Vinod is asking, why did you bring me here? I only came to satisfy your desire. What do you want from me? I live in the forest here, near the village of Umaro. By this Kishori Kund you see before you, I make my residence. You must now give me something to eat, quickly. Lokanath Goswami's joy knew no bounds. He floated in the waves of praying. After this, he prepared an offering for the Lord to eat. After offering fine rice on a banana leaf to the deity, he experienced great ecstasy by offering his life at the lotus feet of the Lord. So this is Radha Vinod, amazing deities in Vrindavan. He was stunned by drinking in the nectarian beauty of the Lord. After this, he offered a bed of flowers and made the Lord rest. Lokanath Goswami made his place his home. The local villagers and cowherd men wanted to construct a bhajan kutir for him, but he refused to accept it. So Lokanath Goswami was very simple. He didn't even have a home to live in, a bhajan kutir. They wanted to make him one, but he would just be happy living under the trees, different tree every night. He wasn't attached at all. But in order to protect the deity, he prepared a cloth bag, which he would keep around his neck at all times. Sri Radha Vinod became like a jeweled necklace around the neck of Lokanath Goswami. The cloth bag was his temple. This was Lokanath Goswami's practice until the day he disappeared from this earth. So this is a fantastic desire. He would simply be always with the deity. And we also serve deities at home. So it's a nice desire. I want to serve you every day, all day, every day. There shouldn't be a day when I miss your service, my dear Lord. Please allow me this great privilege of serving you. This is a good meditation to have. So this is also an example of the strict vairagya he maintained. With great care, he always stayed in the association of the Goswamis of Vrindavan. It is very difficult to exhaustively describe the life and pastimes of Lokanath Goswami, who was very dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his dear followers, beginning with Srila Rupa and Sanatan, disappeared, Lokanath Goswami could not tolerate the separation. After this, his only purpose in life was to establish the wishes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was older than everybody, but yet those younger than him were also leaving the planet after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left. Now, Lokanath Das Goswami gave mantra diksha to Narottam Das Thakur. There is no mention in the Shastras that he accepted any other disciples. He was reluctant to accept any disciples. And Narottam Das Thakur had vowed to take Lokanath Goswami as his guru. So he served him in secret by going in the dead of night to the place where Lokanath would pass stool and urine and cleansed the area very carefully. Seeing Narottam's humility, Lokanath eventually accepted Narottam, seeing his great devotion. So this is the nature of the great Vaishnavas. They don't want to burden anybody. They will give knowledge, but they won't want service. They look after themselves. But the devotees, they want to take shelter of great devotees. So Narottam Das Thakur was advised to take initiation from Lokanath Swami. But he wasn't willing to give to anybody because he was very, very humble. But Narottam Das persevered, and eventually he got the favor of Lokanath Das Goswami. And there are many, many verses which Narottam Das Thakur has dedicated to Lokanath Goswami. Srila Lokanath Goswami, in his ripe old age, while performing his bhajan in Khatiravan in Kayara Gram, passed away and entered into the eternal unmanifest pastimes of the Lord. At that place is a kunj called Sri Yugala Kund. On the banks of that kund, Srila Lokanath Goswami entered into Samadhi. It is said that when Krishnadas Kaviraj went to Lokanath Goswami and asked his blessings to compile the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lokanath Goswami gave his blessings, but he also prohibited Krishnadas Kaviraj from mentioning his name in the Chaitanya Charitamrita for fear of violating the order of Lokanath. Krishnadas Kaviraj only briefly mentions him in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because of his humility, he didn't want his name to be famous. He was very, very humble. Everybody is nowadays looking for name and fame. I have done this and that. This is an example of a great devotee who doesn't want to take any credit from anyone. Srila Narottam Das Thakur Mahasaya prays as follows at the lotus feet of his Gurudev. O Lokanath, O Gurudev, if you are pleased with me, please keep me in your shelter, in the shelter of your lotus feet, and cast your merciful glance upon me. By your mercy, I can find the perfection of inner fulfillment. And by your mercy, I can someday meet Sri Chaitanya and Radha Krishna. If you are not merciful to me, then what shall I do? Please, just once, fulfill my heart's desire. In the three worlds of birth and death, no one is more in need of your mercy. Please give me your mercy and give me a place at your lotus feet. Day and night, I sing the qualities and pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Still, the inner aspirations of Narottam for the service of Shri Radha Govind and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can only be realized through your grace. O Lokanath Prabhu, Goswami Prabhu. So this is a nice prayer. We shouldn't think that we are better than the Guru. This is a common mistake that, hey, I know so much, I'm better than my Guru. You should always be very humble and respectful and begging for the mercy of the Guru. But in Kali Yuga, things change. Lokanath Das Goswami left this world somewhere between 1510, somewhere around 1510, which is 1588, in the month of Ashad, on the 8th day of the dark moon. That's today. That's tomorrow, sorry. He is also known as Leela Manjari in Krishna Leela. This is according to Gaura Ganadesha, the Pika, 187. This is a samadhi of Srila Lokanath Goswami in the Sri Radha Gokulananda temple in Vrindavan Dham. This temple is located very close to Radha Raman temple, which is very famous. We talked about Radha Raman yesterday. And this samadhi of Lokanath Das Goswami is in the courtyard of Radha Gokulananda's temple. And there are many samadhis at this place. Narottam Das Thakur is there, Krishna Das Kaviraj. And it's a place where you can sit and chant and sing bhajan very nice, very peacefully. It's really, you can spend some quality time there and seek the mercy and the blessings of these great Vaishnavas. So this is a closer look at his samadhi. So I wanted to conclude there. That's the pastime of Lokanath Goswami. Anybody like to share anything or any questions? Okay, so we can stop there. Hare Krishna. Lokanath Swami ki jai.